Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and I came across a lunar eclipse tarot spread today, and I'm like, when is the next lunar eclipse? So I'm going to find out. The first of 2 lunar eclipses this year is tomorrow night. Today is Saturday the 14th, Saturday the 14th, 2022, and I won't have time to do this spread tomorrow as I'm going to a wedding and I'm getting ready for Monday, and so I thought I would do it now. So this is the spread I found. I think it's on Lisa Pappas Supportive Tarot Facebook group. 6 cards, and I found every one of these questions very interesting. Today I'm using my Variant Pinter Tarot, published by Low Scale Barrel. It's a 2-part box. These are the backs of the cards. It says Carpe Diem at Pinter. And then, I've already drawn the cards. I just haven't looked at them. I literally just did a meditation and drew the cards. And then I thought, because I haven't used it yet, I would draw, also pull from my Gypsy Oracle cards, also published by Low Scale Barrel. And I have not pulled from this yet. So we'll pull that at the end. Let's get into this. So for question 1, it says, card to best represent my life at this moment. And I actually have the 9 of Pentacles. And normally the 9 of Pentacles is someone that looks like they put in the hard work, they've done the harvest, and now they're just reaping their rewards. They're in the garden, they're luxuriating in their garden. And this one to me also feels, I feel that in this, but I also feel there's a loneliness to it. Like she's totally alone in the world. And I kind of get that. I've been feeling that way lately, where I'm just like, nobody gets me, nobody understands me, nobody has been in my exact shoes before that I've surrounded myself with people that don't understand because they've never been through it. And maybe that's just because I chose not to look at things for so long. And I was running from it, so I surrounded myself and made all these choices with nothing to do with my past. But if you look really here, it also looks like a masked figure in the brush watching her. And I've actually gotten that a few times in meditation, where I would have a Native American male full headdress, like I could see them present with me. And my very first meditation I ever did, I could see like the tip outline of a blue wing that was like blue glass, like a light powder blue almost, like glass though. And I saw them tethered to me, this angel person, spirit, whatever, tethered to me. And I realized the more I do my spiritual journey that I'm never truly alone. That I have guides with me, I have spirits watching over me, I have angels watching over me from a distance, but they're there. So that's super fascinating. No matter how alone you feel in this world, you're never truly alone, is what I'm getting from that. This is gearing up to be a crazy tarot spread. Lunar Eclipse Tarot Spread, that's crazy. So card 2, where can I look to find the truth in my life? I'm scared of this one. Where can I find the truth in my life? And I've got the Page of Swords. I just got full body chills. Because I'm getting there. This page is like, a page to me is like a young person that's not yet gone through battle. But this page has seen battle already. And I get that. Look, they're even bleeding here from a wound. Oh yeah, here too, look. There's blood here and blood here. They've already been to battle. They've already been wounded. But they still have this youthful outlook, I guess you could say. Is lack of a better word, yeah. They have this youthful outlook. There's always the hope that things will be better, even though they've already in their young life been through so much. And that speaks volumes to my youth. Wow. Full body chills. And we're only on card 2. Wow. And it's truth. This is my whole youth up to the time I left home was riddled with pain and horror, and that's what it looks like here. They've already been through the mire and the muck and the mud at a young age, and that's crazy. I'm scared. Card 3. Something my intuition whispers to me. Great questions. Something my intuition whispers to me, and you gotta be freaking kidding me. The 2 of Pentacles, balance. This card for me represents, it is the epitome of balance, along with the Temperance card, and I will not be surprised if it shows up in the spread, because anytime I'm talking about some kind of inner work or inner balance needed, this card or Temperance card always shows up, or both. So I'm not shocked that this is the card that popped up for what my intuition whispers to me, because it's been whispering it to me for some time now. Again, full body chills. My hands are tingling. That's insane. Here it's almost, because there's a person here in a chair and then he's up here, it almost is like they're balancing 2 sides of the same coin, 2 sides of self. Work life, home life, spiritual life, non-spiritual life. That's super interesting. I like the spread. Card 4. Something I can set in motion for my future. 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords, and look, they look like they're up to no good. There's these guys up here, and there's looks like 2 ladies walking down here, and then they're like, we're gonna get her, we're gonna get her, we're gonna get them, we're gonna rob them. They look like robbers waiting in the wings. So, something I can set in motion for the future. I have to think about that one, because that's a darker card for me. And he's got a knife in his hand. Like, they're waiting for these girls to pass at a certain time so they can jump down to get them. Maybe I should not. Maybe it's talking about not waiting for opportunities to pass me by. That's what I'm getting from that. That's all I can glean from that, other than a negative. And I don't see this in this position as a negative. So I think that and that actually goes quite well with question 4. Something I can set in motion for the future. Don't let opportunities pass you by. Interesting. This is crazy spread. Number 5. Higher information coming through for me. What is maybe my higher self? Higher information coming through for me. I got the 7 of Wands, and this is one of the first cards in this deck that I was like, it's like a Lover's card, but there's a rift in the Lovers. There's some kind of separation in this card. That's crazy. So, higher information coming through for me. And I see this as, again, two sides of self. Maybe stop separating the spiritual and the paranormal, or my spiritual practice from the rest of my world. They need to mesh and blend together. Stop separating the 2. Because it's all made up of the one person I am. All these facets make up who I am, so I need to stop separating them or compartmentalizing them. Interesting. And number 6, now, how this lunar eclipse will change me. How will this lunar eclipse change me? And we got the 10 of Swords. Are you freaking kidding me? And he's literally beheading this person. And not often, I mean, in the RWS, you see the person stabbed through with 10 swords. But it's not often that you see the culprit in this situation, the person that's being wronged. And it's not even that they're being wronged. It's that, again, the Ten of Swords to me is all about this something having to go away, a sort of death, in order for new things to come in. So for this, how this lunar eclipse will change me, I feel like there's, and it's been going on probably the last couple weeks, where things are starting to shift or change, or mindsets are going away, and new thinking is taking over and then processing it. And I think maybe that's what the Ten of Swords here is referring to, is maybe there's going to be another big wave of a mindset change for me. And of course, it's the swords, which is all about the mind for me. So yeah, that's what I'm getting from this, is like this, a certain mind, and I feel like it's a big mindset. Something is going to happen in the next week or two, maybe even the next month, that is going to completely shift something on its axis for me, and it's going to shift the way I think about something. And it could be my spiritual practice, because I've been digging into it a little bit deeper the last few weeks. So I found that quite fascinating, actually. So let's pull a card from my Oracle deck and see what it says, because these are crazy. And I really dig in these questions. These are the backs, and this is like a little deck, but it's got keywords on it, and the cards are really cool looking. They're like 50 style, I want to say, or even later, but they're really cool. Is there any other things we can glean from this lunar eclipse tarot spread? Anything else we can glean from this lunar eclipse tarot spread? Here, I'm sideways. Let's see what it says. Melancholy. And I feel that goes quite well with the first card. There's this, normally it's a happy, like enjoying the fruits of your labor, kind of after the garden is planted and seeded and harvested. But this, I feel a lonely, a melancholy kind of feeling with this card. But there's always, like, you're always feeling alone. But there's somebody here, so it's like somebody's always with you, always watching you. Interesting. So that goes quite well with that. So let's pull my book and see what it says about the cards I just went over. So for question 1, which was, card to best represent my life at this time. Pull the Nine of Pentacles. Gosh. And it says description. A beautiful glade provides respite for a woman who relaxes in solitary peacefulness. Essence. The Knight of Pentacles speaks of the success you can find if you are committed to your vision and hold true to your own ideals. In a reading, while there are times when it is best to listen to the advice of others, this is a time to focus first and foremost on your own desires. Do not compromise your vision. Instead, continue to create exactly what you want, and you will find true success. Sometimes this approach can feel lonely or like we are cutting ourselves off from others. This is your moment, your plan, and your success. See this thing through. Note her comfort and serenity. Yeah, I don't get comfort and serenity. I get this melancholy, sadness, like she's alone in the world. And that did touch on that, and the fact that chasing our dreams can sometimes be a lonely road, especially when you have nobody behind you going, you can do it, or you can do this, or you got it. I've never had that. And for me to just pick up one day and say, you know what, it's time to start following my dreams, following my heart, following my passion, it takes a lot of guts and a lot of work. That makes total sense. So, for question 2, where can I look to find my truth in life? We got the words. Description. With all due reverence, a young squire kneels for the vigil that will begin his knighting ceremony. So he's moving up to knighthood at this point. Or, changing. Essence. The Page of Swords represents a keen mind open to new information and revelations. In a reading, the answers are out there, and you may be especially adept at finding them. Interesting, because I was just talking on a video yesterday about a meditation I had with a triangle, and I found information on that triangle finally after about 3 years of trying to look for it. So that's interesting that kind of come up. The answers, this may be time for some detective work. Expand your awareness, clear your mind of preconceived notions, and seek out the unknown. The page is both sleuth and spy, taking note of even the smallest details. Don't accept things at face value. Look beyond and see what is beneath the surface. Note the empty helmet. Wow. That is interesting, because I have been doing some sleuthing spy work lately. That's super fascinating. Super fascinating. And that pertains to my spiritual growth as well. So that's super fascinating. Question 3. Something my intuition whispers to me. Pentacles. None of the swords are in. So where are their pentacles? Description. A master puppeteer puts on a performance. Heroes and villains play their parts on a stage made to look like a lemon skate. The symbol of eternity. Essence. The Two of Pentacles is a card of finding our balance and our center. It suggests a desire for stability and peace in a world filled with conflict. In a reading, there is a strong need to act cautiously and deliberately, just as the master puppeteer must keep the many elements of his performance in perpetual motion. You too may need to multitask, juggling various endeavors and identities at the same time. Choose a middle path that allows for grounded and level-headed thinking. There may be turbulence ahead. Cultivate flexibility and adaptability so that you can shift your position as needed and ride the waves. Those who see you will be impressed with your grace and ease. Note the difference in proportion of the performer and observer. So there's an observer and a performer. And I got that. I'm still getting that that's like two sides of the same person. Interesting. The Seven of Swords next. So for question 4, something I can set in motion for my future. Seven of Swords. Description. 2 rogues with blades drawn crouch in the branches of a tree as a pair of riders approach. Essence. The Seven of Swords is a card of trickery and deception. Gaining victory by unscrupulous means. In a reading, sometimes the best strategy is to not play by the rules. This card can indicate that someone is playing you false, and you should be on your guard for duplicitousness, or theft. At its most helpful, it is its recommendation to think outside of the box and find an alternative, perhaps even unorthodox strategy that others will not have considered. Be careful not to reveal too much of your plans. Note the mist rising from the hills. I think that just said that here with this thinking outside the box kind of deal. Interesting. So card 5. Seven of Wands. Let's go back to the Wands. Turned right to it. 5. Higher information coming through for me. And I got the 7 of Wands. Description. In an arid landscape, a man and a woman stand off against one another, facing each other with palpable tension between them. Essence. In the 7 of Wands, our passions face a challenge of opposing beliefs or perspective. And that's what it was kind of saying here is don't let others change your beliefs. Hold your ground. Interesting. We must overcome it to move forward. In a reading, you may feel as though you are being tested and that you are required to defend what you believe in. And that said that again about your beliefs. Wow. The opposition can seem intimidating, and you will need strong beliefs, perhaps even a leap of faith, to sustain yourself. Our greatest pursuits require that we care deeply enough to rise to the challenge and fight for our vision to see it through. And there was another one about your dreams and following through and your goals. Otherwise, they may be only flights of fancy. Note the contrast between earth and air. Head and heart. Kind of gets me. Interesting. The sun is really going down. Perfect time of day. Didn't rain today, but it got hot and humid. And I washed my hair like an hour ago, and it's already like frizzed out. I love this time of day. Everything is starting to slow down, and the birds are getting the last of the worms in the yard and going to bed, and the rabbits are hopping through. It's beautiful. Just taking in the air. And I got a blackberry bush last year. It's got 1 million blooms on it right now. It's like I'm gonna have so many blackberries. I'm so excited. So excited. Okay, question 6. How this lunar eclipse will change me. And I got the 10 of Swords. Description. A knight in bloody armor raises a sword dripping with gore to execute a prisoner whose head is on the block. Essence. The 10 of Swords has an incredibly debilitating energy. It connotes anguish, devastation, and loss. In a reading, things have gone too far, and it is time to bring an end to anything that is causing you pain, misery, and regret. We can become so committed to a path that even when we know we must move on, we find ourselves unable to let go and release attachment. And I find that fascinating because I know I'm on the right path, and yet I've been getting that a lot lately, where it's like, maybe you're not on the right path. Maybe you're stumbling because you're not exactly what path you need to be on. So I find that interesting. We can become so committed to a path, even when we know we must move on, we find ourselves unable to let go and release attachment to that which is unhealthy. It is important to truly grieve so that healing can begin. And I'm telling you right now, when I first, almost 4 years ago, when my best friend in the whole world of 15 years, we even were pregnant with our last children at the same time. I literally, one day she was like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I'm done with you. I think you're a horrible person. And I'm like, I haven't changed. She's changed quite a bit. I probably wouldn't even recognize her because she's gone through several like tower moments and became someone else that I didn't recognize anymore. And yet I was the horrible person. I had just started my spiritual journey. I was now the horrible person. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I literally haven't done anything. And after that, I pulled this card nonstop. So I think that refers to that, because I still in some ways feel not guilt, but like I replay some of that scenario in my head. I'm like, what could I have done different to change that outcome? But I also recognize I had to go through that to get where I'm at right now. So that's interesting. And I don't think I ever truly grieved. I was so angry for so long that I never truly actually grieved the loss of my friend, the loss of that relationship, and the things I enjoyed about it. So that's interesting. It is better to let things end in an unfulfilling way than to continue to suffer. Wow. Exactly what I was like. There was never any closure there. So that's interesting. Depression and heavy anxiety may be playing a role. Note how they both cry aloud in this moment. So the executioner and the prisoner are both crying out because they both know something majorly is about to change here. Devastation is imminent. That's interesting because I feel like I haven't really written anything in a while. I kind of put myself on pause when we stopped speaking, and it never dawned on me that maybe she stopped being my friend for her own reasons as well, that she had her own like she knew, almost like she's the executioner and I'm the prisoner here, and she too wept over the loss of the relationship, even though she's the one that ended it. That's super fascinating, and it's I've been getting the same message the last few weeks. It's time to let go of that burden, because it's just weighing me down. And maybe that's the change in the Ten of Swords, that I need to, even though there's no closure, still let it go. Interesting. And then we have the melancholy card. I'm going to go over and see what it says. And I don't think there is anything in here. Nope, it's all just like 2 pages, but it's melancholy here. Beautiful card. And there is this lingering throughout the spread, this kind of lingering melancholy sadness, probably about this ending, that it ended, but it's not ended. Like, I haven't spoken to her for almost 4 years. But at the same time, it's having a long-lasting effect on me, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and it's time to let it go. So I found that fascinating. So that was my Lunar Eclipse Tarot Spread. That was super fascinating, super interesting. I got a lot out of this, guys. If you guys, I would love to see if anybody else decides to do this spread. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And you'll have a good night. Bye.